Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on Toned In Entertainment, where we love pop culture. Today, it's time for another comic book review. Now this one's gonna be just a bit different, as we're gonna look at issues number 1 and 2 of a new independent comic, which is written and created by Justin B. Acosta, and the illustrations, ink, color, and letters by Rienque LeVerite. Now, to be completely transparent, these are review copies that were given to me by the creator, but in no way is that going to affect the final score that I give these issues. So let's not wait any longer. Let's get on with my review of Boar-Bane. Now, probably one of the most challenging things when starting up any new series is to get the audience to connect with new characters they've never met, and thankfully here in Boar-Bane, the creators have made this very easy. Before we even get to page number 1 of the story, there's a character breakdown and description of the 6 wielding dogs and the leader of the Boar-Bane pack, Jack. The story of how these dogs became the ferocious fighters is quite the interesting one, as the story in Boar-Bane takes place after the chaos of World War III and the fallout that has caused boars to mutate, and they seem to be taking no prisoners. Tired of not just getting their butt kicks, but fearing that mankind would be on the verge of extinction, a group of genetic scientists have modified dogs to help them with their fight for survival. In issue number 1, we are introduced to 7 characters of the Blue Team, and each will get their own moments to shine as they set out on an ambush in North Texas. But to say that the Blue Team gets a monkey wrench thrown into their plans is an understatement, as they're confronted by a horde of angry mutated bacon called War Pigs. Now, chapter 2 is called Apotheosis, and right away the creators dive into what scientists have been doing to help the humans who have lost their limbs. And even though these scientists claim to successfully blend 2 species together, it might not go as smooth as they hope. In issue number 1, we were introduced to 7 members of the Blue Team, and here in issue number 2, we are introduced to the Red Team, who come to the rescue of the Blue Team when their backs and tails are up against the wall. And while these 2 teams at this particular battle have been able to survive to fight another day, unfortunately, not all their team members who are on other missions will be so lucky. When the 2 teams go back to regroup, they fear that they might be outmatched, and a suggestion is brought up to call in a possible reinforcement in the way of a dog named Tango, much to the chagrin of Torin. Now, who exactly is Tango? Well, we don't learn too much here, other than he's a no-nonsense dog who fights in the pits of a military outpost. And also, it appears that this pooch, well, he probably doesn't get paid by the hour, as he takes out his oppositions swiftly. Now, while we don't know the entire backstory as to why Tango has become an outcast to the rest of the group, it might be in their best interest to put their differences aside if they plan on rescuing one of their pooches in peril, as we get a reveal of a badass boar who appears to be calling the shots, Daedon. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give both issues of Boar-Bane a 9 out of 10. I'm always looking for something unique, different, and fun to read, and Boar-Bane, well, it gets check marks in all these categories. The premise and the story by Justin B. Acosta is really well told and has me wanting more. And the artwork by Rienque LeVerite really shines, especially in the high action battle scenes. My only real critique was in issue number 1, there was some type of printing error for Jack's thoughts, and at times I had to squint in order to read this text in these bubbles. But fortunately, this issue was not present in issue number 2. Now, if you're interested in picking up your own copies of Boar-Bane, you can follow them on Facebook at facebook.com/Boar-Bane. Now, as of this recording, issue number 3 is planned to be released in February of 2021, and I'm definitely on board for more wild and crazy adventures with Jack and his group of man's best friends as they battle a horde of evil mutated boars. Alright guys, if you like comic book reviews like this, make sure you subscribe here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.